A little bit of both. I am dealing with a foster family that I had a personal relationship with before the allegations of the case came about. So I was wondering how I can fight them adopting my children, because that was their intent in the beginning of this case.
Attorney Vince Davis. Show is The Secret, How to Fight CPS and Win. I'm here this evening with Attorney Elizabeth Jacobo and Mr. Hamilton, who is a therapist that deals with these types of CPS cases. All right, let's take another call. Let's talk to Desiree from California. Desiree, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
A little bit of both. I am dealing with a foster family that I had a personal relationship with before the allegations of the case came about. So I was wondering how I can fight them adopting my children, because that was their intent in the beginning of this case. I'm not sure how to fight the adoption process now.
Okay, Elizabeth, help this young lady.
First off, has the permanency hearing already been conducted? In other words, were your parental rights already terminated, or
No.
Is that just the plan right now?
That's the plan right now.
Okay. Have you had completion of your case plan? Did you actually finish the case plan, or?
You got a little background noise going on there, Desiree?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a second. They're leaving the first one, right?
Hey, Desiree, we're on live radio. You know that, right?
Yeah. 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 I've been on the hold for about an hour or so.
Okay, so let's try it. Let's try and answer your question then.
Okay.
When there's set when a permanency hearing is set, what you can do is you can always file a 388, which will show that you completed your case plan, that it's but you do have to show changed circumstances and best interest of the child. Can I ask, was the child placed there since they were a baby?
No.
Okay, so how old were the children or child when they were placed there?
When they were placed there, I placed my daughter in my friend's custody because I was ill and I couldn't take care of her at the moment. So she was placed there when she was, I believe, 12.
Oh, really? Okay. And how long has this case been open now?
It's been almost 2 years.
Okay. And is she just a friend or a relative?
This is a friend.
Okay. Do they consider NERFMs? I mean, a friend, can they still do a guardianship or?
Yeah, of course. Desiree, is she a friend or an ex-friend?
She's an ex-friend
Right.
because she deprived me of my custodial rights before the case came about. Basically, she made some false allegations about me using drugs because she knew I worked for a dispensary, and she took it from there. She claimed abandonment, but she moved without telling me where she moved to, and I took the sheriff to her home to gain custody of my daughter back, and the sheriff did nothing. And I just don't know how she's going to abduct my daughter under the eyes of the law, and they're okay with that.
You know, did you say your daughter was 12 years old, though?
Yeah.
Yes. So she's now older, and she's going to make her own decisions as to who she wants to live with. But
yeah, she can stop the adoption.
Definitely.
She can stop the adoption at 12 years old. She can just tell the judge.
But she's not going to, because she's under her influence, meaning my ex-friend's influence. whatever it is that my friend is going to have her say, she's going to do so because she's under her roof. I have no power against that. Her father committed suicide 2 months ago because he was denied the opportunity to talk to them and to be in their lives. And I hadn't seen them in about a year or so, and I seen them at the funeral finally.
Well, hold on. Desiree, let me ask Brian something. Mr. Hamilton, when you have a situation like this, 12-year-old in a friend's home who has been influenced and maybe wants to stay with the friend and not return home, do you have any suggestions what the mother can do? Therapeutically, so to speak?
I think really for you, it's more about, like how are you handling all of this and trying to make sure that you are emotionally equipped to continue to go through this, because it sounds like this is I would imagine that this is a pretty distressing situation for you, because it sounds
very,
yeah.
I'm trying to keep my sanity. I'm trying to keep my spiritual, faith. I became a drug and alcohol counselor because of this case. I went from delivering medical marijuana to patients to now counseling, rehabilitation patients. And the court still deems me as making minimal progress.
Okay. Have you talked with a therapist at all?
Yes, I have been through therapy. They said that I should go to family therapy with my girls, but they have yet to coordinate that.
Okay.
I've been waiting for their response. I did file the appeal for the cutting my rights off. I have not heard from an appellant attorney. No one's contacted me. Basically, all the progress that I've made throughout my case plan has not been submitted to the department. The department denies me my parental rights, and at my last court hearing, which was June 8th, they said that the children are now comfortable in the home of this person, and that they are now calling them mom and dad.
Okay.
I thought that was very hurtful that the department said those things, because those fathers just died 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And this is devastating for me to hear.
Yeah. Have you talked with, you mentioned that you had seen a therapist. Have you talked to them about writing a letter on your behalf, just demonstrating your progress?
As far as like a personal therapist for myself, I've been through therapy. Basically, I work at a rehab, so it's kind of like I'm in group. I'm in therapy every day. I gain strength through, the 12 steps which they ordered me to do. I was never a user of alcohol or drugs.
Right.
This is a circumstantial thing, and I'm just doing what they want me to do. But another thing that's blocking me from succeeding in getting them back is they want me to do a full drug rehabilitation program. But I cannot find one that will accept me with not being a user.
Okay.
I've been told by advocates to say that you're going to relapse. I've been told by advocates to go and do drugs and then check into rehab. I don't know what to do to tell the judge, like, I'm not an active user. I've never been an active user. I work a rehabilitation center. I don't know what to say to them.
Well, I think one of the things to do is right now I would definitely recommend just seeing a therapist just for your own sake, because one of the things that, that, as going through this process is emotionally distressing. And I would say, like, do you have anything that you're doing for self-care right now?
Self-care, I mean, as far as like the 12 steps thing, or like...
No, more just kind of like, what are you doing to try and, that helps you feel better? Things like, are you doing anything like mindful breathing? Are you doing anything like painting?
Meditation and healing frequencies. I've gotten into that, with meditation and healing frequencies. And just, I grew up in church, so I keep my faith, I keep my faith up, because if I give up, then I fail.
Right.
And I'm a foster kid myself, so I know what it's like to be taken. I know what it's like to go through separation anxiety, and it's damaging. It really is.
Yeah. And I can just
But
hear it in your voice. Like I can hear just kind of the voice wavering there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to keep emotions away when I speak with my children, but just knowing that their dad, I don't want to let him die in vain.
Right. Yeah. Because you're also just dealing with like the loss of your husband, and that's traumatic, particularly when it's something when it's suicide. And
this was particularly, it was in my report that she denied the father the opportunity to speak to his girls because he didn't have an appointment.
Okay.
And that's put in the report. The last message that she said to me was call me, but I was too busy doing what the court want me to do. I work graveyard at a rehabilitation center. I have to go test ever so often for the department, and but it interferes with my sleep and my rest.
Yeah.
And my mental state, it's very hard to push and push and push, but if I don't push, there's no one else to now.
Right.
It's just me.
And so I think just for you right now, and just as you're going through like these legal battles, I think it would be good if you would be able to, if you could talk to somebody, who's a therapist who can kind of help you walk through some of just the emotional loss and the emotional struggles that you're going through right now.
Yes. And I try to stay strong. I've been to therapy before, and it's just a conflict of interest right now because of my schedule and making time to go to the therapist and having money to pay that therapist, and it's just very hard. To be able to do that financially.
Yeah. I work for a nonprofit. I work for a nonprofit that's called Life Source Affordable Counseling, and they try to provide affordable counseling. You can see somebody who is a trainee for $30 for a 15-minute session. It's $60 for an associate, which is somebody like me. But a lot of the people that are there are trained in something called the comprehensive resource model, which is an evidence-based therapy that's specifically designed for helping people who've gone through trauma. And it sounds like, the issues that you're going through, where your children have been taken away from you, where your husband has committed suicide, those are forms of trauma. And I think it would be really helpful to be able to talk to somebody. And if that's something that you think that you can afford, hopefully we can figure out a way to take your information down, and I can see if there's somebody available to talk with you at LifeSource. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yes, I'm very interested in that. I've been trying to find resources on my own, and it's been very difficult because of COVID. Because I pay phone tags a lot of people, and it's really hard for them to accept my insurance. I only have Medi-Cal right now. I need a 730 eval, what they want me to do, but they don't give me any direction as to who I get it from.
Right.
I'm on my own, basically. Not,
Yeah.
Hey, Desiree, I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's okay.
Brian was giving you such good information. Call my office, and I'm going to put you in touch with Brian. 888-888-6582. All right? And call our audience back and let us know what's going on in a few months or a few weeks with your case. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. We'll be back after these messages.